I honestly never thought I'd end up posting here. I used to read these relationship stories late at night thinking, damn, people really ignore every red flag imaginable. Turns out it's a lot easier to judge when it's not your own life slowly falling apart in front of you. My wife, Jenna, and I have been together for 8 years, married for 5. We met when we were both broke, overworked, and pretending we had our lives together. Back then she was funny, sharp, confident, the kind of person who could walk into a room and somehow make everyone pay attention to her. I loved that about her. I think part of me still does, which honestly makes this whole thing worse. But if I'm being real, the problem started long before the cheating. Jenna had this habit of lying about small things constantly. Weird things. Pointless things. She'd tell me she was at Target when she was actually getting drinks with coworkers. She'd say she paid a bill already when she hadn't even opened the email. If I caught her, she'd either laugh it off or get aggressive immediately. Why are you interrogating me? You're so paranoid. Normal husbands don't keep track of every little thing. At first I convinced myself it was harmless. Everybody lies sometimes, right? Then about 6 months ago, something shifted hard. Jenna suddenly became obsessed with privacy. Her phone used to sit face up on the couch all the time. Then overnight it was locked constantly. She started sleeping with it under her pillow. I wish I was exaggerating. She also became weirdly cruel. Like she was angry at me for existing. One night I asked if she wanted to watch a movie and she snapped, "God, do you ever stop needing attention?" That sentence stayed in my head for weeks. Then came the random disappearances. She'd say she was helping Melissa through a breakup and not come home until 2 a.m. Another night she claimed her boss scheduled an emergency inventory meeting at midnight for a marketing company. Sure. Every explanation sounded dumber than the last, but she delivered them with absolute confidence. And somehow I kept doubting myself instead of doubting her. The thing that really messed with me was how normal she could act right after. She'd come home cold and distant, then suddenly crawl into bed beside me and ask if I wanted pancakes in the morning like nothing happened. Felt like emotional whiplash every single day. Then there was the gym thing. My wife has never voluntarily exercised a day in her life. Suddenly she was going to the gym 5 times a week, buying matching workout sets, taking selfies in the mirror, and acting offended if I even noticed. One morning I hugged her before work and she physically flinched when I touched her phone in her jacket pocket. That was the first moment my stomach really dropped. Not suspicion. Not anxiety. Fear. Like my brain already knew something my heart wasn't ready to admit yet. And then, 3 days later, her sister accidentally said something she definitely wasn't supposed to say. We were at her parents' house for her dad's birthday when everything started unraveling. Nothing dramatic at first. Just one stupid sentence. Jenna had disappeared into the backyard to take a work call, which already annoyed me because it was Saturday night and she'd been glued to her phone all evening. I was in the kitchen helping her mom clean dishes when her younger sister, Kayla, casually asked me, "So, are you okay with the Austin thing?" I remember just staring at her. The what? The second those words left my mouth, Kayla's entire face changed. Pure panic. She started stumbling over herself immediately. "Wait, she didn't tell you? I thought you knew." Forget I said anything. That feeling hit me again. That heavy sinking feeling in my chest like an elevator dropping too fast. I tried to stay calm. Knew what? Kayla kept drying the same plate over and over without looking at me. "She said you guys talked about it already." Of course she did. That's the thing about chronic liars, they lie preemptively. They build entire fake realities and assume everyone else will keep up. Eventually Kayla admitted Jenna had supposedly been going to Austin for work training once a month for almost 4 months. I had literally never heard a single word about Austin. Not once. No training. No flights. Nothing. I felt my face getting hot. My ears were ringing so badly I could barely hear the rest of the conversation. The crazy part? I almost defended Jenna automatically. That's how conditioned I was by then. I actually said, "She probably forgot to mention it." Kayla looked at me with genuine pity. That was worse than anything. I went outside afterward and found Jenna sitting alone on the patio scrolling through her phone with this relaxed expression, like she didn't have a care in the world. I sat down beside her and asked, "So how was Austin?" I swear to God I watched the blood drain from her face in real time, but only for a second. Then she recovered instantly. "What are you talking about?" That answer made me feel physically sick. Not confusion. Not, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you." Just immediate denial. I told her Kayla mentioned the work trips. And Jenna got angry. Fast. She stood up so abruptly the chair scraped across the concrete. "Are you seriously doing this here?" I kept my voice low because her family was inside. "You've been taking trips for 4 months and never mentioned it?" "It was only twice. Actually 3 times. They weren't even overnight trips." I said. Kayla literally said monthly. That's when she switched tactics completely. "You're always looking for reasons not to trust me. You make everything toxic. This is why I don't tell you things." Then she grabbed her keys and left. That night she didn't come home. "I need space. Don't wait up." At around 4 a.m., I remembered her old iPad. I wish I could say I handled what happened next like a mature adult. I didn't. At 4:30 in the morning, I turned it on. Messages loaded. And I saw Eric. The first message. "Miss your mouth already." There were hotel bookings in Austin. Photos. Inside jokes. Complaints about me. "He's too emotionally needy. I feel trapped all the time. Only when I have to so he doesn't get suspicious, lol." Then, "Last night got messy. He's suspicious now. I'll calm him down. I always do." She came home like nothing happened. "You want breakfast?" And I realized I was looking at a stranger. Then everything escalated into confrontation after confrontation. At first she denied everything. Then she tried to justify it. Then she attacked me. "You have no idea what it's like being married to you." She listed flaws like she was building a case against me instead of explaining her betrayal. Then she said, "He's married too." And I realized this wasn't just an affair. It was a parallel life. Eric started calling while we argued. She refused to answer. That's when I understood she wasn't just hiding him from me. She was hiding me from him too. At some point, she broke down crying. "I never meant for this to happen." And I remember thinking how impossible that sentence was. Because nothing about it just happened. It was chosen. Repeatedly. Over and over. Then she said, "I didn't think you'd actually leave me." That was the moment something shifted permanently. Because she wasn't afraid of what she did. She was surprised there were consequences. The next days blurred into chaos. Her family got involved. My friends got pulled into it. Screenshots started circulating. Claire, Eric's wife, contacted me. She had receipts, flights, messages, proof of Chicago, Denver, not just Austin. We compared timelines like investigators. And everything kept getting worse. Eric told Claire I was abusive. Jenna told him we were already broken. None of it matched. And the worst part was realizing they were both just rewriting reality depending on who they were talking to. At one point, Claire said, "They're addicted to lying." And I couldn't unhear that. Then came the pregnancy claim. He told me she might be pregnant. Jenna denied it immediately, but then changed her story. It was a scare. Then, it wasn't serious. Then, I didn't tell you because I knew you'd overreact. There was no stable truth anymore. Only shifting versions. Then I learned she had put an AirTag in my car. That was the moment everything turned from betrayal into something colder. Control. Eventually, I left and started staying with Marcus. Even then, she kept posting online, shaping her own narrative first. He never appreciated me. He was controlling. We grew apart. And people believed it because she said it first. That's when Claire and I realized something else. Eric and Jenna weren't just cheating. They were co-creating lies and adjusting them in real time. The confrontation reached its peak when Eric showed up at my house. He tried to explain himself. Then Jenna arrived. And suddenly all 3 of us were in the same room watching reality collapse. Eric asked her, "Did you ever plan on leaving him?" She didn't answer. That silence said everything. Because I realized I wasn't the exception in her story. I was just one of the compartments. After that, everything became weirdly procedural. Lawyers, assets, separation. The emotional chaos slowly turned into paperwork. Claire and I stopped talking eventually. There was nothing left to reconstruct. Eric faded out of the situation in pieces. Jenna moved out, changed jobs, disappeared from most shared circles. No dramatic ending, just separation. And me, I didn't heal in any cinematic way. I just slowly stopped living inside constant alarm. Stopped checking tone for lies. Stopped mentally replaying conversations. One day I realized hours had passed without thinking about it. Then days. Then longer. And that was the real change. Not forgiveness. Not closure. Just silence where chaos used to be. And I realized something I probably should have known earlier. Sometimes you don't get a clean explanation. You just get distance. And eventually that's